what we did in this session so far is collect the expertise, okay, on the panel. The room is full of expertise, okay? So I'm going to ask you, raise your hand if you want to make an intervention, but there are two conditions, okay? I'm being very ugly, moderated, but tolerable, acceptable, all right? Intolerant, I'm an intolerant moderator. One, no more than 2 minutes, the intervention. Two, the intervention should not be in telling personal stories, but going back to the core of the session. And that is, if you know something that on the legal side, or on the institutional side, or on the training side, that would make a difference and make a transformation. Solutions, this is what we are. You are in this group, okay? And so please. Let's start here because this is the only mic that's working in the room, okay?
Good morning, everybody. That was an excellent panel. We really benefited from it so much. Thank you all. First, I would like to tell you that I love praise. It brings the palm down, and it's much better for shopping in the UK.
It's not the point, please. Let me have a chance.
Okay. I was talking about finance, and I want to share with Patricia the finance, what banks are doing in Jordan. We have two private banks, two banks, the biggest banks in Jordan. One is the Ahli Bank, and the other bank is the Ittihad Bank. They established a department just for women, one called Nashmiya and the other one called Shuru. And this department has its own employees, has its own building, and they have their own funds just for women entrepreneurs. And they offer the fund to women to come and, they study their projects, they help them how to do the marketing, they help them how to get the finance, and they give them the money at a very good rate. It's better than the rate that the men are taking from the main branch. And it has been working really well, and one of the banks will give every year award for the best project which has been achieved in that area. But our major problem really is the culture. Like women, they don't like to borrow. To tell the women they don't like to be in debt, and they are so reluctant to have a loan and interest rate, and a lot of religious women that they think this is haram, they shouldn't go to the bank. These traditions and this culture, this is a major problem for these banks. Sometimes they have a very good project for one woman, but they don't know how this culture should be changed. Thank you.
All right, the ladies in the back, they have their hand up. I don't know if you, please. Yes, please. Somebody in the back had their hand up on this side. Change. Are you talking about the basic part? Okay. No basic.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the panelists and the moderators. Wonderful. I have one question for Patricia. How you select women for your program, and you said you will transfer this experience in another country. Which country is the first in your program? And I have two suggestions. According my experience, for one project, Democracy Need Women in Tunisia, for 3 years, I ask you to put some men in some workshop and activities, because when we take care of women and build capacity, there is gap now between men and women. So women must have networking with men to deal in projects. And we experiment that in the 3rd year of our project, and we put no more 25% men and the other women. And it's better solution, and women have connection with men and can start work in the beginning. So, about now...
1 minute.
Yes. suggestion to connect our countries by giving opportunity to female students to get study board in our company 1 month, and like that we have connection with that market, because for Tunisia we have a long time France as the first trade. Why? Because we go and study in France. We have connection. So if we want to have connection between Tunisia and Egypt, let students from Egypt coming to Tunisia and so on, and big company, big today, say, I have 1 month for free for stay and pocket money for 1 student and for digital marketing. You have my honor.
Well, actually,
No, I need you here because we have.
Actually, I don't have questions, but I would like to share with you my feelings when I have heard our colleagues, Jordanian one. And I felt very motivated that Egypt has surpassed a lot of legal aspects in order to support women. Our labor law, the old one in 1983, we were allowing women 50 days and it is full pay. In this new law, it is 3 months and full pay. In Egypt, we have the nursery. It is from the old labor law, and now more than 50 staff members, they allow the nursing facility. We have a lot of privilege. I would like to, I felt that Egypt has surpassed that period, and the only thing which I feel is that we need really to implement and make the kickoff of global and go to emerging market. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the panelists. I have a question for Cecilia. I saw Kenya has no talent, and I would like to know how you arrived at that. And secondly, for Patricia, because you have that, it was so successful in Zambia, why don't you replicate that? Because finances in East Africa, specifically Kenya, for the entrepreneurs, the upcoming entrepreneurs, is usually the problem. Why don't you replicate that in East Africa? Thank you.
Why not? Thank you very much.
So just very quickly to answer. Hi, I don't have a question. I have a company. I have 32 employees. Only 3 of them is women. One of them is me, which I'm one of the owner. Of course, I don't reject hiring women, but I don't have application or applying women for any job. I don't know why. They keep telling me at the company that I'm making magic for the company, not to hire any lady or woman because my husband is the chairman of the company. They said that it is a Rawad school for boys. They want feminine flavor, but I told them that I don't even have any application for women or girls. The only one who applied for the job, she through the interview, she asked me what salary I'm going to take. I told her, Kaza. Okay, she told me this is the amount I paid for feeding my dog. What? Okay. I think the problem is Egypt some of us raise our children or girls that they need to work if they have to. No, I think we have to raise our girls or our girls that they have to work under any condition, like the boys. They have to work. Not only if they need, no, they have to work. Okay, thank you.
Any other comments, please?
I would like to come back to the issue of quotas and talk about experience in Europe, because since 2008, around 2008, several countries in Europe decided to establish quotas, legal quotas, and supervisory boards, etc. And what are the learnings? First of all, the quotas are working, but there are very little side effects. That means they're only working in the education field. So maybe one recommendation, you should not restrict too much the education field. Second learning, they are working. That means compared countries with and without quotas, it's very clear. In countries with quotas, it's raising, and in countries where there's no quota, it just stays the same. So don't be afraid of quotas. They are working, sometimes slowly, but they are working. Thank you.
Any other comments? Yes,
Buongiorno, io sono italiana e gentilmente me l'ha tradotto il mio pensiero.
Good evening, everybody. Today, rather, I'm Italian and I'm going to translate for us.
Io sono totalmente d'accordo con la collega. Non bisogna mai fermarsi, anche noi in Italia 50 anni fa la donna non poteva fare niente e nonostante io personalmente ho 70 anni.
Un minuto, per favore.
Ah sì, ok.
So she was completely agreeing with what we were saying, and as a lady from Italy, una donna dall'Italia.
Ok.
Da frase a frase, per favore.
Non ho capito.
Se lei mi può dare una frase che io posso fare la traduzione.
Ok. Porto il mio esempio, io sono una persona di 70 anni, ho fatto il responsabile di una banca e attualmente sono responsabile di un'azienda con 70 persone.
So I'm 70 years old. I used to be responsible for a bank, and now I'm responsible for an organisation with 70 people in it.
Certo, ci sono stati molti sforzi, ma anche in Italia 50 anni fa la donna non era considerata minimamente.
And of course there's always challenges, and 50 years ago the woman in Italy was not considered equal.
Quindi io consiglio di insistere, perché se uno lascia perdere non arriverà mai il momento giusto.
So what I'm encouraging is to keep insisting, because there'll never be the perfect time.
great job.
I have to make my 2 cents in intervention. As a matter of fact, from attending too many women empowerment, and we see how successful many countries have led by example. There was one record number, I think it was in Iceland, and it was that all women in the country, even if they don't work, if they're just taking kids to nursery or going home or cooking at home or something, there was a big strike for 3 days,
that women stopped working at all, any function, even if she doesn't work, even if she just cooks at home or she goes to clean a house or to do, they stopped, women just stopped everywhere. And the result was amazing. That suddenly they found that how much women are effective in any community, and there is nobody who can really scale the role of women wherever.
Any other? Okay. I'm going to give a chance to the panelists, okay, to respond. This is not your last minute talk. To respond to some of the comments. Wherever, okay? All right, but not too long.
So just to say about the figures, the Global Creativity Index, they're not my numbers. I can share that with you. And where there wasn't a number, it's usually because the data wasn't rather than a reflection of the country. I'm sure Kenya has vast amounts of talent.
I think I can wrap it up to the question, how do we select and where do we go next? How we select is actually two things. Either the woman should be a peer to the rest of the group. That's first. So I allow myself to say no. And when I say no, it's based on two things. It's either I don't feel her sense of urgency, or I don't feel her desire to create a better future, either for herself, her community, her country, or whatever. If she wants me to make me work, then I say, no thank you. You should do the work. And I can't really explain by it, but just laying that out there and have that sense of ambition and dare her to be a meaningful future maker. If 9 out of 10 times they grab the opportunity, because 9 out of 10 times it's the first time they sense that that is an option. Okay, the other thing is where to go next. What we need in order to create this magic is a real, powerful ambassador. For instance, I know that Anne, where's Anne, by the way? There you are. I know there are many advisors to the president in this room, you're one of them. And we know a lot of powerful and impactful entrepreneurs in Kenya. That's all we need to start. And we need impact partners who are willing to support part of it. Because we make everybody pay their own participant fee. Mind you, this is not for free, because we don't believe in free. Because it has a value in the end, so because you're an entrepreneur, and the banks involved should really pay their part. So that's about Kenya. But we're very interested to work in Jordan, and whomever feels this is an attractive idea, we're really interested to have the discussion and see where next.